In this video, we're going to talk about every way you're being programmed to stay weak. We hope you learn them well so you can spot them easily and break free. Let's get into it. First, consumer first mindset. One of the most effective ways you're being programmed to stay weak is through the consumer first mindset. This is the belief that your primary role in society isn't to grow, think, or create. It's to consume. Buy, upgrade, subscribe, repeat. You're trained to think, I want it, therefore I should have it. No patience, no self-discipline, just instant gratification on demand, like you're the main character in a shopping simulation. But here's where it gets dark. If this keeps going, we're heading straight for a dystopia where everything is rented. Not just your apartment, but your clothes, your furniture, your identity. Imagine subscribing to pants, leasing your toothbrush. You'll own nothing. But hey, at least your fridge will be Wi-Fi enabled. And who wins in this system? Not you. Corporations do. Second, constant dopamine hits. Another major way you're being programmed to stay weak is through constant dopamine hits. Tiny spikes of pleasure coming at you all day long. Likes, scrolls, swipes, notifications, memes, reels, sugar, caffeine, noise. It feels harmless, fun even. But here's the trap. Dopamine is designed to reward progress, not pointless stimulation. When your brain gets flooded with cheap dopamine 24/7, your ability to focus, think long-term, or sit with discomfort gets wrecked. This is how they break your attention span, and without attention, forget achieving anything meaningful. You can't read. You can't finish a thought. You can't even sit in silence for 2 minutes without reaching for your phone like it's a life jacket. And once your brain is hooked on quick hits, everything slow and worthwhile feels boring. Learning? Too slow. Building something? Too hard. Discipline? No thanks. I've got TikTok. This is mind control through pleasure, and it's terrifyingly effective because a distracted, overstimulated person is easy to market to, easy to manipulate, and easy to forget. And that's why a good percentage of young people today, no matter how smart or talented, will never do anything remarkable. Not because they're not capable, but because their brains have been trained to chase dopamine instead of legacy. Third, sedentary lifestyle normalization. You're being programmed to think that sitting all day, barely moving, and living in a chair-shaped life is normal. In fact, it's marketed as peak convenience. Food comes to your door. Groceries, delivered, entertainment, endless, even dating. You don't have to leave your bed. Just swipe, scroll, and emotionally spiral from the comfort of your mattress. And guess what? It feels comfortable, effortless. But that comfort is a trap because movement is power. Stillness, when constant, becomes weakness disguised as modern living. This is how strength dies quietly, not with a bang, but with soft cushions, desk jobs, and binge-watching marathons. Fourth, mainstream media distraction loops. Forget the fact that all the mainstream channels report the same pre-approved, regurgitated news like they're reading from a corporate group chat. That's just the appetizer. The real control mechanism is the distraction loop, a never-ending carousel of outrage, fear, celebrity gossip, and emotional bait designed to keep your brain busy but never thinking. Today, it's the resultless meeting between Putin and Trump. Tomorrow, it's a sudden spike in tariffs that causes online noise and fake economic panic. Next week, a totally unrelated story that sweeps everything else off the screen. All of it carefully designed to make you forget about the files that never existed. Fifth, education system indoctrination. If you think school is about preparing you for life, think again. The modern education system isn't designed to make you think critically, question authority, or become self-reliant. It's designed to make you obedient, compliant, and good at following instructions. You're taught what to memorize, not how to think. You're rewarded for sitting still, staying quiet, and repeating what's already been approved. Creativity? Discouraged. Questioning the system? Penalized. Fitting in? Mandatory. From day one, you're conditioned to raise your hand for permission, to walk in straight lines, to compete for gold stars, and to believe that your worth is based on grades, not growth. That's not education. That's behavioral training. Sixth, anti-critical thinking culture. We're living in a time where thinking for yourself is seen as problematic. The moment you ask a question that isn't pre-approved or express an idea that doesn't follow the popular script, you're labeled problematic, conspiratorial, or just straight up dangerous. Independent thought is no longer encouraged, it's discouraged, mocked, and, in some cases, even censored. It's seventh, processed food addiction. Another extremely powerful weapon of control used on you is processed food addiction. And there's a scientific reason why it's so effective. These foods are engineered to hijack your brain, override your willpower, and keep you trapped in a cycle that can single-handedly destroy your health, your energy, and your life. This isn't just about junk food. This is about chemically altered, dopamine-loaded, hyper-palatable frankenfoods designed to keep you eating, even when you're full, sick, or miserable. Salt, sugar, fat, additives, artificial flavors, all carefully combined in labs to make your brain light up like a slot machine. And the result? You crave more, you eat more, you crash. Then you repeat. Eighth, victimhood mentality promotion. Society trains you to adopt a victimhood mentality, constantly telling you that you're powerless, oppressed, and at the mercy of forces beyond your control, often exaggerating reality just enough to keep you stuck. It's psychological handcuffs disguised as empowerment. Feeling sorry for yourself becomes trendy, and being resilient becomes countercultural. You're taught to complain, protest, and blame, but not to solve, build, or fight back. 9. Self-love misuse. The term self-love has been hijacked. What was once about genuine self-respect, discipline, and nurturing your growth is now twisted into an excuse for indulgence, a laziness, and avoidance of responsibility. You're told to prioritize your feelings over results, to protect your comfort at all costs, and to never push yourself outside your safe bubble. Skip the hard work. Ignore accountability. It's self-love after all. The effect? People confuse pampering themselves with building strength and end up soft, reactive, and unprepared for real challenges. 10th, validation addiction. Modern life trains you to crave constant validation, likes, comments, shares, compliments, and recognition. Social media, group culture, even casual conversations are engineered to make you feel your worth depends on external approval. You start seeking affirmation instead of developing self-respect. Decisions are made based on who will praise you, not what actually matters. You post for likes, dress for approval, and even think for applause. This addiction keeps you reactive, insecure, and dependent. A mind constantly seeking validation is too busy measuring itself against others to think independently or challenge systems. 11th, disconnection from nature. At the rate we're going, probably in the near future, the only way you'll get connected to nature will be through the metaverse or a high-definition screen. Modern life is designed to keep you separated from the natural world. Buildings, schedules, and artificial environments create a bubble where the sun, wind, soil, and fresh air barely touch your life. And it's not just about missing fresh air or beautiful views. Staying away from nature robs your body of vitamin D, a crucial nutrient your body needs to maintain both physical and psychological well-being. Without it, energy drops, mood crashes, immunity weakens, and your brain loses sharpness. 12th, ridiculing morality. Society has trained you to question, ridicule, or even abandon your moral compass. Acts of honesty, integrity, selflessness, or courage are often mocked as naive, outdated, or unrealistic. You're told that caring too much makes you weak, standing for what's right makes you a fool, and helping others is just showing off. Meanwhile, selfishness, manipulation, and cutting corners are celebrated or excused as smart or pragmatic. This constant ridicule makes people doubt their own values, ignore ethics, and gradually accept behavior they know is wrong. 13th, divide and conquer tactics. You've probably heard that old saying, a single twig breaks easily, but a bundle is unbreakable. That's exactly what they want you to forget. Media misinformation, manufactured gender crises, political polarization, and cultural conflicts are all promoted to divide the population. When people are busy fighting each other over ideology, identity, or outrage, they stop noticing who's really in control. By keeping you distracted and at odds with each other, manipulators ensure you're weak individually and powerless collectively. They don't need to convince everyone of the same thing. They just need to make you suspicious, angry, or resentful of your neighbors, colleagues, or even family. 14th, degeneration as entertainment. Do you notice that even the movies made nowadays are full of degenerate behavior, mindless violence, and moral decay, and it's celebrated as edgy or artistic? This isn't accidental. Entertainment is being weaponized to normalize weakness, indulgence, and ethical decay. Platforms like TikTok actively reward degenerate behavior. The algorithm boosts content that's shocking, outrageous, or morally shallow, giving creators fame and attention for promoting degeneracy. 15th, over-reliance on government or systems. Society trains you to depend on external systems, governments, corporations, and institutions for almost everything: food, healthcare, education, security, even basic guidance. The problem isn't that systems exist. It's that you're taught to trust them blindly and give up your own responsibility. When you rely entirely on external structures, you stop building self-reliance, critical thinking, and personal power. That's why universal basic income is very likely to become a reality in the future. When you don't have to own anything, all you need to do is be happy. 16th, normalization of weakness. From media to workplaces to social interactions, people are rewarded for avoiding challenges and punished for strength or resilience. Being too ambitious or too serious is mocked, while laziness, passivity, and entitlement are celebrated. A population that sees weakness as normal is easier to control. They won't fight for change, won't build legacies, and won't challenge systems because they've been trained to accept the status quo as the only reality. Which of these tactics surprise you the most? Comment it down below, please. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.